Hello, my friends. Before we start, take a quiet moment and listen carefully. I want to tell you something interesting. The English language has more than 170,000 words. Yes, more than 170,000. Now, think honestly, how do you feel when you hear that? Maybe you feel a little stressed. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. You might be thinking, how can I learn all of these words? Here is the simple answer. You don't need to. You do not need to learn 170,000 words to speak English well. And this is where many people make a mistake. They think that to be fluent, they must learn more and more vocabulary. So they keep memorizing words every day. But even after learning many words, they still feel nervous when speaking. Why does this happen? Because the real problem is not the number of words. The real problem is how we learn. Now listen carefully, because this idea can change everything for you. You can speak clear, natural, everyday English with only about 521 simple words. Yes, just 521 words. Not thousands, not tens of thousands. Just a small group of simple words used correctly. Today, we will understand why this works. First, let's talk about why English feels difficult. Many people believe English is hard because they don't know enough words. They think, if I learn more vocabulary, I will speak better. But this is not true. In fact, this belief can slow you down. Even native English speakers do not use all 170,000 words. In daily life, most people use only about 2,000 to 3,000 words. And here is something surprising. Most conversations use the same simple words again and again. Words like come, go, do, make, take, and feelings like good, bad, happy, sad. These are very simple words. You already know many of them, but still you feel stuck. Why? Because speaking English is not about knowing many words. It is about using simple words again and again with confidence. Think about how a child learns a language. Does a child study a dictionary? No. A child listens to simple words every day. A child repeats the same patterns again and again. This is how language is learned. Not by memorizing, but by using. Now, let me explain something very powerful. These 521 words are called high-frequency words. That means they are used most often in real life. They include pronouns, I, you, he, she, basic verbs, go, come, eat, drink, work, simple adjectives, good, bad, big, small, daily nouns, time, food, home, money. With just these words, you can make many sentences. For example, I go home, you go to work, we go to the market. Same words, different sentences. Now remember this important idea. Fluency does not mean using big or difficult words. Fluency means speaking smoothly without stopping. And this happens when your brain feels comfortable. Your brain feels comfortable when the words are simple and familiar. So instead of trying to learn everything, focus on using simple words again and again. Practice speaking every day. Repeat patterns. Use what you already know. That is why using fewer words can actually help you speak better. Now think about your own experience. When you try to use difficult words, what happens? You stop. You think too much. You feel nervous. But when you use simple words, everything changes. You speak faster, you feel relaxed, you feel more confident. This is the power of simple words. They remove fear, they build confidence, they help you start speaking. So remember this, English is not a test. English is a tool. You are not here to impress people. You are here to express your ideas. And you do not need many words to do that. A small number of simple words is enough. Now let's go one step further. There is something even more powerful than words. It is called sentence patterns. This is one of the biggest secrets of speaking English easily. Many learners do not understand this, but once you understand it, everything becomes easier. Think about it like this. Sentence patterns are like roads. Words are like cars. If the road is clear and simple, the car can move easily. But if there is no road, the car cannot move. This is how English works. Many people spend years learning new words. They try to collect vocabulary every day. But when it is time to speak, they feel stuck. They know many words, but they cannot make sentences. Why? Because they learned words, but not how to use them. So listen carefully. You do not need many words to speak English well. What you need is a few strong sentence patterns that you can use again and again. Now let me show you some simple and powerful patterns. First pattern, I want to. This is very useful in daily life. You can say, I want to eat, I want to sleep, I want to learn English, I want to work. The pattern stays the same. Only the action word changes. Second pattern, I need to. We use this almost every day. You can say, I need to go. I need to study. I need to rest. I need to call him. Third pattern, this is for talking about the future. You can say, I am going to eat, I am going to work. I am going to learn English. Fourth pattern, I like to. This helps you talk about your feelings and interests. You can say, I like to read, I like to talk. I like to learn English. Fifth pattern, I have to. This shows something important or necessary. You can say, I have to work. I have to study. I have to wake up early. Now stop for a moment and think about this. With just these few simple patterns, you can already make many sentences. You don't need difficult words. You don't need long sentences. Just use simple words, follow simple patterns, and speak again and again. With only 5 simple sentence patterns and a few basic verbs, you can already speak hundreds of sentences. This is the real magic of English. But why does this method work so well? The answer is simple. Your brain loves patterns. When you repeat the same sentence again and again, your brain starts to remember it naturally. You don't need to stop and think every time. The words come out more easily. And this is what we call fluency. Fluency is not about speaking very fast. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, without fear, and without stopping too much. Now let's talk about a common mistake. Many learners spend a lot of time learning grammar rules. They read books. They study tenses. They try to understand everything perfectly. But they do not practice speaking. So the grammar stays in the book, not in their mouth. But sentence patterns are different. Sentence patterns go directly into your speaking. You use them again and again, and they become natural. That is why native English speakers do not think about grammar rules when they speak. They simply use patterns they have practiced many times. Now imagine this. If you practice speaking every day for just 10 minutes, slowly your mouth becomes stronger, your brain becomes faster, and your fear starts to disappear. This is why the 521-word method works so well, because it focuses on repetition. And repetition builds Confidence. Confidence builds fluency. So do not try to learn everything at once. Focus on simple patterns. Use them again and again. Now let's bring English into your real life. English is not only something you study in books. English is something you use every day. Many learners study English for years, but they still cannot speak. Why? Because they study English, but they do not speak English. Today, you can change that. Take a moment, relax, and listen carefully. Your life is already full of English topics. You do not need special topics. You do not need difficult ideas. Your morning, your work, your home, the people around you, your feelings, these are your English topics. Let's start with something simple, your morning. When you wake up, what do you feel? You can say, I wake up early. I feel tired, I need water, I want to rest. These are small sentences, but they are real. And real English is powerful. Now, think about your day. You go to work or school, you can say, I go to work, I go to class, I feel busy, I feel stressed. Look at these sentences. They are simple, they repeat. This is how fluency grows. Now imagine you are talking to someone. You do not need perfect English. You only need clear English. You can say, I need help. Can you help me? I want to ask you something. I do not understand. These sentences are small, but very useful. You can use them in many situations. Now, let's talk about something important, your feelings. Many learners find this difficult. They know many words, but they cannot express how they feel. But with simple English, you can. You can say, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel tired, I feel nervous. When you say this, people understand you. That is communication. Now let's talk about the past. Many learners worry about grammar. They want everything to be perfect, but simple English still works. You can say, yesterday, I go to work. Yesterday, I feel tired. Is it perfect grammar? No. But is your message clear? Yes. And that is what really matters. Now think about the future. You can say, tomorrow, I go to work. Tomorrow, I will study English. Again, simple and clear. This is called survival English. And survival English is real fluency. Now remember something very important. People do not judge your grammar. They notice your confidence. When you speak with confidence, people listen. Even if your English is simple. Now it is time to take action. Here is your daily exercise. Choose one part of your life, morning, work, or home. Then speak 5 sentences about it. Not in your head. Speak out loud. Your mouth must move. Because speaking is a physical skill. The more you speak, the stronger your speaking becomes. This is how fluency grows. Slowly, naturally, step by step. And remember this clearly. You are not just learning English. You are training your mouth, your brain, and your confidence. And for that, 521, simple words are enough. Because no matter how much you understand, if you do not use English, nothing will change. Many people watch videos every day. They feel motivated. They feel like they are improving. But when it is time to speak, they stay silent. Not because they are lazy, but because they are not practicing the right skill. Listening helps you understand English. But speaking builds confidence. And confidence only comes from action. So instead of doing too much, let's make it simple. Choose a few words, make a few sentences, and speak them out loud. That is enough. Do not try to learn everything at once. Do not to be perfect. Just repeat simple things again and again until they feel natural. Because repetition is not boring. Repetition changes you. Every time you repeat, your brain becomes faster, your mouth becomes more comfortable, and speaking becomes easier. Now let's talk about something deeper. Fear. If you are honest, fear is the real reason you are not speaking. It is not vocabulary. It is not grammar. It is that quiet voice in your mind that says, what if I am wrong? And because of that voice, you stop before you even start. But here is the truth. Fear does not come from English. Fear comes from pressure. The pressure to be correct. The pressure to sound perfect. And that pressure blocks your voice. But when you use simple English, something changes. Your mind becomes calm. Your brain feels safe. And when your brain feels safe, you can speak. That is why simple words are so powerful. They do not just help you speak. They give you permission to try. And that is where confidence begins. Now let's understand confidence in a new way. Confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes after speaking. It grows from small actions, from simple sentences, from daily practice. Think about a child. A child does not speak perfectly, but a child speaks freely. Why? Because there is no fear, no pressure. And this is the mindset you need to build again. Many learners worry about what others will think. But the truth is simple. Most people are not judging you. Most people respect you for trying. Then those who do not, they are not important for your journey. Because your goal is not to impress people. Your goal is to express yourself, to share your thoughts, to be understood. That is what language is for. So now let's make this real and simple. Start with something small. Speak a few sentences about your day. Not in your head, say them out loud. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. That is normal. But if you do it again tomorrow and again the next day, that uncomfortable feeling will slowly go away. And little by little, confidence will start to grow. Not suddenly, but step by step. Now remember this clearly. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about feeling comfortable when you speak. Because when you feel comfortable, you speak more. And when you speak more, you improve. That is the natural way to learn. And here is an important truth. You will never feel completely ready. No one does. Ready is not something you wait for. It is something you build by speaking. So do not wait. Start now. You do not need thousands of words. You only need a few simple words used again and again in real life. Speak slowly. Speak calmly. Speak every day. Because your goal is not to impress people. Your goal is to express yourself. Now ask yourself one simple question. After this moment, will you go back to silence or will you take one small step forward? The choice is yours. If this lesson helped you, even a little, share it with someone who needs it. Stay on this journey. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. And remember, your progress does not stop here. Continue learning. Continue growing. I will see you again next time. Goodbye for now.